Hey, what's up, Fearless Networker friends? Todd Falcone here. All right, so you're gonna have people that quit your business. There's no question about it. And I do believe that there's a good way to go about dealing with the quitters and a really bad way. And here's the thing. I know that we've got an emotional attachment, even though we talk about emotionally detaching ourselves from our prospects and the things that go on within our organizations. The reality is we have relationships with these people, and many times you're bringing in individuals that you have really strong relationships with, that you've been friends with for years and years and years, and then they come into your business and they either don't do anything and they just kind of fade away, and you know, that's kind of tough. And then there's a really challenging situation where you bring somebody in, maybe you've invested a lot of time and effort and energy and taught them how to do the business, and then they end up not only quitting your business, but going to another business, going to another network marketing company, even when they said, oh, I'm in for life, and you know, I'm going to give my blood to say that I'm here for good, and I'm committed to you, and you and I, we're going to go do this thing. And the reality is, I've seen that happen tons of times where people say that and then they go someplace else. So it may have already happened to you. If it hasn't, it probably will. I mean, the reality is that if you're going to be involved in network marketing long term, you're going to have that happen. You're going to have people that shock you. Like, one of probably the biggest things about network marketing that is really difficult to handle for people is human behavior, is the weird, crazy decisions that people make that kind of cause us to scratch our heads or shake our heads and go, what are they thinking? And your ability to move through those situations and not get too caught up in them emotionally and allow them to drag you down is really going to define you and your ability to be a long-term survivor in this business. So the thing that I want to share with you today is, when you're faced with that, and you will be faced with that, you'll have people, in spite of how great your company is, you could be the #1 company in network marketing, the fastest growing company in the year, whatever year you're in, and people still leave. People leave the greatest companies out there. So you could be a slug and people leave the company. You could be a skyrocket and people leave the company. It's just what happens. So here's what I would suggest that you do when this occurs, okay? When somebody chooses, okay, now first of all, now here's how to hopefully prevent it. I say hopefully. There's a rule, and I've done a blog post on this before. I call it my 7-day rule. And my 7-day rule is basically this: you never let 7 days go by without having some kind of contact with the key people in your organization. I mean, so if you got somebody who's totally independent, who's building, is rocking out their business, and they don't even need you for anything, you still maintain contact with them, because that way, when weeds start to grow up in that garden, you can pull the weeds and you can fix maybe what the problem is before it really becomes a major problem. That is a huge rule that you definitely do not want to break, and I know I've done a post on that before. The other thing is that when, let's say something does go sideways and you're doing the best job that you can, you're maintaining regular contact, and maybe they're not even sharing with you their dissatisfaction and they end up leaving and they go someplace else. The worst thing that you can do, and I understand this is hard, the worst thing that you can do is get all, you know, angry and up in arms and mad and start, you know, smack talking them on Facebook, blocking them, flaming them on Facebook. I mean, I see this happen all the time where people, you know, it's like we're all friends as long as we're making money together, but I choose to go to a different company for my own personal needs or interests, and all of a sudden now we're not friends anymore. What's up with that? It's like, so you like me as long as I'm making you money, but the second that I'm not making you money, I'm a jerk. You know, there are people that act like that. So just, the reality is that's going to happen. It's about being mature when it happens. I'm going to have a conversation with you, do my best to keep you around, to find out what the problems are, what you're unhappy with, what you're dissatisfied with. Typically, the answer is not someplace else in another company. In fact, in most cases, it's not someplace else in another company. And then allow you to make your own decision for you and your family. And then, you know, I'm going to love you on the way in as I bring you in, and I'm going to love you on the way out, so that if you choose to go someplace else for your own interests, you're like, hey man, go for it. I mean, if that's what you feel you need to do, I mean, I'd love to keep you around, but it seems to me you made your decision already, and I wish you the best of success. And there's always an open door to come back if you want to come back here. And because I've done that with people that have left, I've had people actually leave and come back. But if I was like a total jerk to them, stay away from if you do any of this, and I start threatening, then all of a sudden they're like, okay, wait a second, they're never going to come back. And they may never come back anyhow, but at least you've opened a door for them to return. So I think it's really about maturity and just accepting the fact that some people are going to come, some people are going to go. Love them on the way in, love them on the way out. Try to the best of your ability, remove any kind of super amount of negative energy. I mean, some people leave and they leave in a wake of terror and negativity, and they're swiping people and taking people and trash talking the company. And maybe then it's a little bit harder to do that, but do your best to just be level-headed, and you're going to do a lot better job at just handling those situations as they come to you throughout your network marketing career. So this is Todd Falcone. Thanks for watching. Love to hear your comments. If you're watching this on my YouTube channel, head on over to toddfalcone.com, TODDFALCONE.com, and love to hear from you. We'll see you soon.